What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part lucky number 13 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Imrik Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, some pretty great battles as Atilne and her Lothern Sea Guard army took on Queeg Headtaker in a pretty darn epic fight. In addition to that, we declared war upon the Sisters of Twilight, or the Heralds of Ariel, and did manage to take out their capital, and the Witchwood. The rest of their outposts should fall shortly, and all this we do just for that landmark at the Temple of Vol. And we're going to have to grow it as fast as possible as well. And I don't remember what the pastures do for elves, but let's hope that they will make it grow. Lovely. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this time around, I don't think that there's anything crazy. We did most of the stuff. Belharathoy, I guess you can still move a little bit. I guess if we're going to go down to the Hag Hall anyway, we may as well start moving on down there. So go to Hag Hall, and then Arathon here. We'll proceed up to the Temple of Adeoth, and then maybe all the way through Storag Court to Clarkaron. There is still the 100 exotic animal cages that we can produce out of Clarkaron. Even though the Dark Elven territories are red territories, most of the places, with the exception of the Slave Gate at Karond Kar, are still able to offer us a bunch of landmarks that we can use. So there's certainly potential for it. Plus 100 diplomatic relations with Dark Elves, eh? Huh. Oh, wow, Oh, that's really interesting. Alright, and next time I do High Elves, what we should maybe try to do is try to book it towards Nagarond as fast as possible, and do like a sort of reverse Malekith campaign, wherein if Malekith occupies the Shrine of Assyrian, he can use High Elven units, as we saw for those that watched it in the Malekith campaign. And if we get like Tyrion or somebody to conquer this, we might actually be able to get Dark Elven allies, which would be neat as well. At the very least, use their outpost units. But anyway, I digress. You guys will proceed to where you need to go. And anybody... Wait. I saw something. There's an army here. It is not the Sisters of Twilight, though. Oh, we do have an Armored Destiny, though. Would be lovely to steal it. Dreaming Ring. I take it that this is only for the Wood Elves. It would be nice to get that heal, but I somehow doubt. Now the question is, I guess, whether we need to move Arathon here to help. I guess we'll see next turn. These guys might run away, and then that kind of defeats the purpose. Also, I guess what we could do is also declare war on the on Wurzag's faction. He's still the second strongest on the map, and he is still one of our major objectives, so it may as well be a good idea to start working on him. In addition to that, Arguelon, who we will want to ally with, is at war with them, so we can become friendlier with them by getting there. So, let's ask Karazakarek to join the war since they're the only option. Get a little bit of cash for our trouble, like so. We're not going to do the non-aggression pact, I think, because I think we will destroy Karazakarek. And I think that is it, as in... we can end the turn. It always feels weird when we sort of leave off the previous episode with the turn almost done, and then it's just like, wait, is this enough? Did we do everything? I don't know, but I'm gonna hope that we did. Alright, and... alright, Imrik's trying to ambush this stupid little army that's been annoying us for so long now. Anyway, end the turn for now. While the turn is ending, once again we did reach the engagement threshold, so we'll be doing an hour-long episode this time around, and being the 13th episode, it's... the heck? Being the 13th episode is where I usually lower the engagement threshold, so from now on we... the ambush succeeded. The Skaven ambush didn't succeed, but this one did. From now on, I have 350 likes and 50 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. Usually after the 13th episode, I don't usually do double episodes, but, you know, I'm still willing to maybe do one either, well, I guess... possibly today or possibly Saturday, depending on how it goes. You know what? How about this? If we maintain the old streak, the 400 likes and 50 comments streak, as opposed to the new streak, the 350 likes, then we'll do a double episode or continue doing periodic double episodes on Saturdays and such, and whatever I can manage. Anyway, yeah, we're definitely gonna fight this. Ambush it is. Now let's put some shielded or some fire banner on the shielded Lothern Sea Guard. And I guess we jump into it. Go. Alrighty, here we go for the Everqueen. Indeed, we've got a pretty darn nice ambush set up here. Up here we have the sort of pass or valley that the enemy would have to move up, blocked by Lothern Seaguard with shields with 72 melee defense on them, and then regular Lothern Seaguard directly behind, without Feyadian probably being able to move onto the battlefield until the ambush is over. We're going to have to rely on the Lothern Seaguard to do the damage. Same sort of thing going on over here as Seaguard deployed shields forward, and then behind them the regular units, and we'll do our best to fire upon the enemy before they can make their escape off the field. And there we go. It looks like the enemy aren't even trying to make their way up there, or at the very least the savage orcs aren't. They're just booking it towards the exit, but the AI does have a tendency to behave in this manner where it tries to make as many or get as many units off field generally, rather than actually attempting to fight. I perhaps should have even kept a few more units over here to block them off, but, well, whatever. At least this way we could probably destroy them without suffering really any damage whatsoever, if this is what they want to do. Or at the very least their infantry. It looks like their cavalry is a little bit braver, or a little bit more incited into violence, and will make their way towards our Lothern Seaguard. Spears out, and the anti-large starts working on the enemy cav as they get bogged down, unable to charge on through, making their way uphill into a spear line. Probably not the best way you want to make use of your cavalry. But this is the orcs we're talking about, so perhaps not the most surprising thing in the world. Anyway, with that, it looks like a decent pile of the cav are going to book it on back, but the further they back away, the more they get hit by arrows. Some gobos, some nasty skulkers, and did manage to charge forward towards our Lothern Seaguard, but will break relatively quickly. Nice moves from our noble here, who was attempting to hold the flank. I don't know why I said attempting. Very successfully holding the flank and sending gobos flying with every strike of that halberd. Pretty cinematic weapon wielding there, buddy. There you go. Alrighty, and I believe with that, the enemy army is pretty much done and getting absolutely obliterated by the Lothern Seaguard. And we didn't even need to rely on spells. That is nice. Alright, well, we are going to take the time to destroy as many of the enemies as possible with that arrow fire, as we will have to fight any survivors once again. We are going to try to focus down these trolls as best we can, as they are the biggest threat on the field. But fortunately, and by the looks of it, they will fall. And then there was one, and then there was none. Down you go. Oh, Trollio. And the gobos will be the last unit to fall. Oh, wait, actually, there was a unit of, I believe, pump wagons, or chariots, possibly not pump wagons back here, but the Rahagras Pride and the Illyrian Reavers chased them down. Nice. Is this the first ambush that we fought? No, we also had that Kugath ambush earlier, yes. But, well, ambushes are fairly rare, or at least have been in this campaign, relatively speaking. Alright, well, that went obviously pretty darn well. Hardly surprising, though a decent amount of the enemy savage orcs escaped. The Lothern Seaguard are pretty darn nasty on the ambush, because they combine the fact that the enemy's getting ambushed with by a ranged army, which is usually nasty in the first place, but they don't even have the option of sort of turning it upon the range units, because they just run into the spears of the Lothern Seaguard instead, hybrids as they are. Solid work by these guys, and all hovering around 10,000 damage total. We'll ransom the captives for additional cash. I'm sure that little army will back up, but we should be able to chase it down. And by the looks of it, Imrik should be able to take out Transform the Lethal. Okay, well, an action-packed start to today's episode. I guess High Weaver Dulas will attack us as the Heralds of Ariel, so I guess we're gonna fight back. Get to it. Now, this might actually be a little bit more dangerous than the game is letting on, but nonetheless, go. Failure is impossible. By the looks of it, indeed it is. I'm inclined to agree, as this is a choke point battle, which will play to our strengths as we have artillery and the enemy does not. Granted, it's elven artillery, so it ain't that good, but it's probably good enough to deal with other elves. Anyway, here we go. Wasn't expecting this fight, perhaps, but it is a pleasant surprise, though I'm not sure what the Lord Dulas was doing while we attacked these guys' capital. And where was Dulas when the Witchwood fell? Anyway, looks like the enemy will make it towards us, getting that arrow of Ruinous down, but doing very little damage, surprisingly, to the spears. And another one coming in as well. And I take it that's because the enemy has those Waystalkers. Huh. Wait, didn't Arrow of Ruinous get a huge buff in the previous patch? But oh. Has it been reverted in SFO? Because that looked like it did basically nothing. 645 damage and 5 kills. I feel like if that was a vanilla Arrow of Ruinous, it would have been just dishing out huge amounts of damage. Or am I wrong? Am I crazy? That's a thing, right? I remember Arrow of Ruinous being a lot more devastating recently, but anyway. Looks like well, there is one issue. The Wood Elf archers do outrange our archers, so we're going to have to make our way a little bit forward in order to fire back. A little bit of a range shootout, but we do have the numbers on our side, and a couple of units of archers can focus down those Glade Guard at once. In addition to that, by the looks of it, the Glade Guard were firing at the closest target and thus firing on our spears rather than on our own archers, which will allow our archers to destroy them. And the enemy Dryads make their way forward, could really use the fire damage available to us in Imrik's army here. Or that fire damage buff that we had from Gordonar the Dragon's defeat. But well, not a big deal. We can simply pop the Shield of Thorns, and that should make it a lot easier to deal with the enemy Dryads. Out here, Dryads are rushing forward as well, though it looks like our spears here have taken a little bit more damage and due to the two Waystalkers and additional enemy range units focusing them down. That said, they're not so heavily damaged that they can't hold the enemy Dryads up, especially with a little bit of help from the Illyrian Reavers, which are gonna charge on in. Not for long, just to do a little bit of damage. I was hoping the charge would actually send these Dryads routing so we could move on through and hunt down the enemy range units. But well, not a big deal. We arrow down Dulas, the enemy lord, though the morale shock isn't quite sufficient. The balance of power has shifted at least slightly in our favor. The enemy reinforcements, however, have arrived and have included some Hawk Riders among their number who decide to make their way into the melee as well, rear-charging our spears as they attempt to hold back the enemy Dryads. Not the worst use of the Hawk Riders. In SFO, Hawk Riders are really, really nasty, and as we know, Hawk Riders are even more nasty under the Sisters of Twilight, but yeah, these guys certainly can do massive amounts of damage in melee. But alas, they got focused down way too quick for them to actually take too much advantage of it. Only 16 kills though, 6.6k damage for a few seconds of attacking. I'd say it's not too bad. Definitely have to watch out for Hawk Riders jumping into blobs of melee infantry. Anyway, the Dryads are still holding, reasonably tanky as they are, with 5% board save and 10% physical resistance. But it looks like the enemy is starting to break over on the right choke point. And as soon as all the Dryads are out of the way, we can simply start chasing the enemies down with our Illyrian Reavers. Without range support, I'd wager that the enemy won't hold for too much longer. And another Arrow of Ruinous coming in. These ones may be doing a little bit better than before. I certainly see some damage coming in on the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers there. And, down to 1. Oh! Okay, so that was a much better use of the arrows of Kurnos. So while they didn't kill a lot of the crew, by the looks of it, each arrow of Kurnos managed to destroy a artillery piece. Yeah, much better. Much better, Waystalkers. I should stop praising the enemy, but certainly better than getting 5 spearman kills and, what was it, 600 damage? Something super minimal from the first time around. Yeah, I guess they functioning as a sort of counter-artillery for the Wood Elves is certainly something that they needed. Destruction awaits, yes indeed it does, though the enemy's destruction, and well, it's not so much awaiting anymore as it's already here. The enemy range units have been cleaned up by the Illyrian Reavers. The bounce power roughly about 85% in our favor, and I'd wager a few more kills and the rest of the enemy units will rout. Belharitho is also a Archmage of Life, and probably knows how to handle Dryads. And there we go. With that, the enemy army will rout. We will pop a chain lightning in their way to try to kill off as many more as possible by forcing the enemy through the chain lightning or stopping and waiting. And there we go. Certainly a lot of chasing to do in this particular fight, especially since we have the Illyrian Reavers, which we built in this particular army to act similar to I don't know, dire doggos or any hound unit, basically, or light melee cav, I guess, which is what they are. We need something in this army, or needed something in this army to actually be able to chase enemy troops down, and that's what they're for. But anyway. Alright, very nice. I was certainly not expecting a choke point battle, but it did work out fairly well in our favor. 1500 money is tempting, but so is forced labor, considering our army is a little bit damaged and this particular force does lack a noble. 1500 money. Nah, but we have to hit Hag Hall, ideally next turn, and ideally without help, so I think we're going to force labor, and just because. We want to keep enough, what is this? Torellosaur. Ended a trade agreement. You gotta be kidding me. What the heck, everybody? Oh, the diplomacy is going surprisingly not as well as I would have thought with Imrik, at least in certain places, and we're using our influence for it, pretty much all of our influence for it, but it's just not enough at the current time. Fayadian is good, Barded Thilmar Steed for Colin, our Metal Mage, that's fine, enemies killed in battle. Lumberjack Disciplinarian and Light Thilmar Armor, but most importantly, Invocation of Asurian, immediately so I don't forget it. Like so. The +5 control and the reduction in building construction, it's all beautiful. Noble Prestige, kill. And, wait, did he raise this? Is that what happened here? I assume he raised this. Kill this. And yeah, okay, just kill it. And I always do. Is somebody said to say I always do right after I said kill it? Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Take the tiny bit of money, I guess it doesn't really matter. Then we can still move Gambler's Armor for free, a little bit of money, a little bit of Battle Master's Leadership, sure. And we're gonna swap into March Stance, and we're gonna head all over to Nagashazar Arwenil. I assume that if he had raised, yeah, settlement raised, okay, so it specifically said that he didn't occupy it, meaning Arwenil, we're actually going to move you in and camp stance right to the edge of this territory. Fortress of Vorag. Not Grabbitter Bay as yet. Instead, what we're going to do is you're going to build another unit of Dragon Princes for Imrik, which is what we want, or one of the things we want. Also, Krakadrin, still no fire cannons, which is the main reason we're allied with you. And Goldtooth, nothing useful, but we don't have the second tier of outpost with them, so that's hardly surprising. And, damn. Huh. Wait, so he got defeated in an ambush, but he got to keep his Wa? I thought that once... weird. I thought that you lose your wa upon losing, or at least you should lose your wa on losing, because a orc horde would essentially turn upon itself as the biggest of the orcs fight for supremacy. They wouldn't follow a loser. Odd. Either way, we probably want to move through Mount Squighorn, which means we move you like this. It will mean fighting without Theoden, but that's life. Switch briefly to Noble Prestige just for the additional XP. You go here. I assume there's nothing here. Yeah, basically nothing here. Auto-resolve this and let's hope it doesn't do too much damage. More damage than I'd like, but workable, I'd say. Occupy the place. Loot and Occupy would also be relatively worthless. Rampager Standard could probably go to a Cav army. I'm almost tempted to put it into Imrik's army, but we'll see. This guy's in March Stance, and... I wonder, does the March Stance conferred to the Wa as well?
We stand ready for action.
And we are able to reach the Pillars of Grugni. The problem is there's a full stack there, plus... yeah, that's like 2.5 stacks. Maybe I shouldn't have auto-resolved. And we don't have mana. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna wait the turn, we're gonna attack next turn. Why? We'll need Theoden, because A, she has mana, and oh, speaking of, go out here, go into this Blessing, and maybe we'll have Theoden attack first, because then she can make use of the mana. You are going to go right here into Ambush again, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Alright. I'm hoping I did all this right, and I guess we'll find out shortly. If the ambush works, this shouldn't be concerning enough, but nonetheless, I think we should probably level everybody up. Theoden, I still haven't decided what kind of troops you're going to have, though... it is tempting to get dedication. I'm almost tempted to just give her the White Lions, because we have the... we have these guys. That said, they're probably very strong, buffed princes. Damn, Avaricious, nice. Magic. Guesses Dragon Reduction. I wonder if there is... oh, another Ardent one. More cheap Lothern Seaguard and potentially cheap Gate Guard and Illyrian Reaver Archers. We could make a sort of skirmisher cav army based around this. But not necessarily right now. Oh, Keen isn't so bad as well, especially for like a defensive force. Speed and reload time reduction. Why did princesses have such good traits? The prince traits have been by and large disappointing. There was, I think, 1 or 2 good ones, but, well, we don't see them right now. Anyway, let's level up. I got distracted. Shield of Thorns we do use quite a bit. Technically, we use Regrowth quite a bit as well, but for now, I think it's fine. Once again, too bad the Archmages don't have the Merchant Lord buff. You do, however. And I guess just keep going through it, because, well, we need the additional cash. Noble, you have knowledge of Lizardman affairs and High Elf affairs. And... well, maybe we go for man's affairs now. Just a little bit of all of them. Or maybe even lizardman affairs. Yeah, we are trying to ally with various lizards. Nah, fine, go for lizardman affairs this time. And then go for replenish troops as well. And then the mage is the important thing here. Let us get you... Searing Doom and Gehenna's Golden Hounds. I mean, I'd like Glittering Robe as well, but for now. For now. Ideally, this army shouldn't need Glittering Robe, and if we are to attack Pillars of Grugni, the defensive location, or the defensive garrison, means that we'll probably want to drop a Gehenna's Golden Hounds, where the enemy is blobbed up, so we should make use of that. Highweaver Atodeath. I don't know what you're doing here, but you won't be here for long, I'd wager. You are going to move to Hag Hall. And on to Val's Anvil. You should have just given us Val's Anvil, guys. It's not... I don't even know if it's that useful to you. I don't even know whether the Wood Elves can build the landmark, because it's a tier 3 landmark here. And this is an outpost. And if they can't build it, that's... well, that's unfortunate for them. Anyway, you're gonna take out Highweaver Atadith. I still have no idea where Naestra and Arahan are. Maybe we'll find them, maybe we won't. Take the ransom captives and keep on going. Go into Lilith's Blessing right to the edge of this territory, and we'll head to the Temple of Adaoth, whatever. Don't see those sisters. Odd, but okay, huh? Morathi will have no choice but to revive at the Shrine of Cain. Maybe a nice little face-off between Alariel and Marathi there. And ooh, yes, recall colonists. I've been waiting on that one, though I am very tempted by the casualty or punishment trade. You know what? No, we're gonna do the casualty or punishment trade first. I just convinced myself. Damn, there's a lot of text. Alright, we'll get there, guys. Architect Luaran. Ah, yes, finally it's time to build stuff for, well, not for cheap, well, for cheaper, but specifically. Wait, do we need to go here? I don't think so. At least not yet. I guess we just stay in Pig Barter because we'll be reducing stuff there. There's nothing to be built here, and there is nothing to be built here. Ooh, although in 3 turns, you'll actually be able to upgrade our first Citadel. Oh, tier 4. Finally, that'll give us access to additional dragons and phoenixes as well. Exciting. Nearly there. It's funny that the Howling Wastes will actually get that before the Plain of Bones, our starting province. Need more growth. Ever more growth. Anyway, let's move everybody else around, and then we'll do the rest of the building. Okay, I guess you're not actually moving anywhere. Oh, I guess there's nobody to move. There is diplomacy to do, however. Vissenland and Nuln. They want to be friends, and Hexoatl wants to trade. Hexoatl, you guys are the ones that broke off the agreements. What's wrong with you? I mean, damn. Alright, give us money. I'd be tempted by the military axes, but this would have to be paying them. We could declare war on the Hunts Marshal's expedition, but then what they'd do is they'd sail from the coastline and annoy us here, and I think it's not worth our time right now. Let's just do this. See if we can't keep friendly with Mazda. And then, Vissenland and Nuln. Oh, Northern Province is nearly ready for this. Ooh, because you're at war with Zatan. They could declare war on Zatan. How strong is he? Hey, it's not very strong. Okay, Northern Provinces. Assuming you won't want a defensive alliance, but that's fine. We'll do this. They will declare war on the Warhost of Jar for the military axis just to get additional friendliness, and then hopefully eventually that defensive alliance. We definitely want a bunch of Cathian units, as they'll work nicely with several of our things. Somebody suggested we could use the Jet Lions in combination with the... we can force these guys into a defensive alliance. Oh, man. Wait. Let me just think about this. Hey, but we need Vol's Anvil. We can't do it yet. Maybe once we take this province, and they only have Venom Glade. Yeah, but we want Clarkarond as well. I mean, maybe we could let them keep it. Honestly, I'd be willing to trade them the Witchwood. I don't really care about Witchwood. I don't think we need it. It's just that, wait, if we take Hag Hall and take Vol's Anvil, and then trade the Witchwood for the Temple of Vadayath, maybe? You know what, build the militia camp here, and build the, it doesn't really matter, the Grove, whatever, just to make this thing worth more. Maybe we can do this. So I can't see if there's a full stack out there, but I expect that there isn't because these guys are looking pretty weak. Meaning you can probably auto-resolve, though I'm a little bit wary of how much damage you'll take if you do. Maybe not that much. It does say low casualties. It does feel like this is a waste of time compared to the battle we fought. Fine, do it. Yeah, it's not bad. No, we're fine, we're fine. Occupy the place, don't loot and occupy it. Then... Ithilmar Chariot... No, I don't think so, Belharathoi. Well, actually... I do like the additional speed that allows us repositioning. Yeah, you know what? You can't really be on a chariot in this particular army. Another army, perhaps. Nah, you're definitely not healing that much. Your peace treaty is now at 56, but they're still very much willing to peace out. Are you able to reach Vol's Anvil next turn? In regular stance, I'll bet you are, so... Maybe. Of course, then we'd not be getting Clarkarond, but... Man, it's only a tier 3 thing as well. Oh, man. What do we value more is the question, and I'm not entirely sure as to the answer to that, but anyway. Was that all the diplomacy? Oh, it was not. I got distracted. Yet again. Good job, Ruinous. Vissenland and Nuln. We could use some Imperial allies. Let's declare war on the Tallymen, because they're too far away to concern us, and they were not willing to trade, eh? What about declaring war on Archaon? 14, that's much better. We don't need to then declare war on the Tallyman at all, although pretty much everybody would love us for doing so. Almost tempted to save the war declaration on Arcan potentially for a defensive alliance eventually, since it's worth a lot to these guys. They're willing to do the trade, but not the non-aggression pact. But after this, I feel that they'd be willing to eventually do the non-aggression pact anyway. Oh, actually, they're not even willing to do the trade. They're only willing to do the non-aggression pact. And give us 2,000 gold. How much would we... 7.8k? What the heck, AI? Why do you want so much for this? It's not worth that much. Fine. Just do Archaon for now. How much is this worth, incidentally? 14. How much is the Tallyman worth? 5.2. Barely worth anything. You know what? Not do anything. Just do the non-aggression pact for now. We'll get a little bit more friendly with them and maybe get a little bit closer to that trade agreement, and then we will deal. Order of Lore Masters, how's that? 74. We're at 130 now, and it hasn't budged whatsoever. But go figure. Also, I think it's time to get another noble on the field, specifically just to steal influence or secure influence or whatever it is. Somebody who's cheap, though. Melee attack, character experience gain per turn, physical resistance, it doesn't really matter which one it is. I don't know. Squishy? Who cares? Alright, you go here. And you can be influencer, I guess. Would you be able to reach the Veil of Woe? Not quite, but eventually. Alright, and you can secure influence from those guys. Next up, we got building. We were waiting for this, and there's a lot to be a lot of expenditures right now, so let's start. Now, you two don't need to do anything. What about you, Black Fortress? No, not for the next few turns. Wolflands, you are still growing very, very slowly, and you will continue to do so. Crookback Mountain, you're fine as well. And will probably be fine for a fair amount of time. Tor Anrock is fine. Scalded Delta. You are already done. Mount Squighorn. Don't collect the income because of the negative public order. Hag Hall. Immediately build the pastures and get the growth. Don't collect the income for now for the additional growth because we want to get that Vol's Anvil up and running. And to tier 3 pretty much as soon as physically possible. Next up we got the Ashen Coast, and this is where we need to start immediately building everything we can. I'm almost tempted to forgo the Iron Mine in favor of the Colonnade. But we can't. We need the resources. And keep the place growing. Next turn we'll be able to upgrade one of these places. In fact, we could upgrade Iron Spike first, which would allow us to still build the Colonnade, so... And still good. Torsathai, go for that Royal Garrison. And I guess switch now to Banish Corruption, for a turn at least. And we'll switch back once Vol's Anvil is complete. Mount Gunbad? Yes. Upgrade yourself. Go upgrade yourself. Alright, and you're getting quite a bit of public order, which is great. We'll keep you in this for a little while, and then in like 3 or 4 turns, we'll be able to push ourselves up to like 5k per turn if we get a lot of places growing. You, Bleak Coast, will upgrade, I think... I mean, I guess we should upgrade Arnheim. Although we would be able to upgrade a tier 3 lumberyard should we desire it here, and we've already got the Colonnade up and running here. I mean, though I guess to be fair, we have a Colonnade up and running everywhere. Yeah, fine, start with Arnheim. Ultimately, it won't make that much of a difference which one we pick right now. You will upgrade that Exotic Animal Bazaar. Oh my, that's expensive. Alright, you know what, for 1 turn, rebuild Lost Splendor. Plus it'll reduce the time it takes to actually build this, so that'll save us on the turn. Yeah, that's fine. Witchwood, you're fine as well, and you have potential to be traded. Next up, yes, Obsidian Amulet Carver, Promenade, and we'll upgrade Sildra Tor first. Why Sildra Tor? Because it has the wine, and that gives us additional public order, which we certainly need here. Alright, this actually will be a very solid money-making province, especially considering it's got a 4-settlement, well, it is a 4-settlement province, so we'll take advantage of that. Build a manor here, and I do believe we're good. At least for now. And do we need to switch back? This is all a tier 2. I mean, I guess we'll probably have one of these upgrades coming in shortly. The growth here isn't horrible. Alright, fine. Just stay as you are. You're fine. Actually, no, I lied. You're not fine. Go into Banish Corruption, then go back afterwards. We should actually check out the other ones. You will need an upgrade here at Iron Spike. And you're fine. And then you... Moonshard won't be upgraded. This is going to tier 2. Okay, I guess you're going to Growth as well. Banish Corruption. Alright, now we're good. Now we're good. And there goes pretty much all of our cash, but the investments will pay off within 5 or so turns. End turn. I'm gonna forget anything. It's too late now. Alright, let's see if we can make this work with the Heralds of Ariel. It'll all depend on whether they're still willing to go for a peace agreement. These guys will attack us and... Oh, okay, for a second I thought that Fayadian wouldn't come in as a reinforcement, but yeah, alright, I guess the Lothern Seaguard army is getting more work. We're damaged now, the victory will be close, and there's just a lot of orcs to deal with. We also gotta remember that Wurzag powers these guys up quite a bit with their 40% physical resistance. And it's a lovely time. Go. Alright, apparently Assyrian wills it. You heard it here first, folks. Anyway, here we go once again, or as usual, we're going to start the battle off. Ooh, I like the view here. We're gonna start the battle off with the Illyrian Reavers charging forward. Once again, they are anti-large arrows, so they're actually pretty good at this sort of thing when targeting a single entity as opposed to blobs of units. And the enemy Lord Grotzlik has lost about 25% of the HP that he started with, and every volley takes off about another 15% or so. A few more of those, and I'll wager he'll be gone before the enemy can do anything about it. And since I guess units aren't being destroyed, this isn't sufficiently annoying the enemy army to actually charge forward towards us. Down goes the enemy lord with one more volley. Damn it, 2 more volleys. I mistimed that one. 186 HP. You die. You die for making me look like a fool. Anyway, looks like we can switch to the Black Orc Big Boss now, though that took about half of our arrows. Still very much worth it to knock the enemy lord out. Plus, we had to wait all the way back here anyway, as we wanted Fayadian to move on to the field, and she can start on the enemy army while we wait here with this sort of cliffside acting as our, well, on the side of our... a pseudo wall, a cliffside, whatever. Yeah, I think in this particular case, normally I wouldn't go to the edge of the map, but this edge of the map has a impassable terrain anyway, so that would just continue this in this direction, so that feels appropriate to me. Anyway, Fayadian's on the field and will move her way forward, and she can certainly reposition herself quite quickly now that she's on that eagle with 169 move speed. Enemy army has reinforcements arriving and are now repositioning, as the AI has a tendency to do when reinforcements arrive. Naturally, this is a terrible, terrible idea. They're trying to go into formation, but we're going to take advantage of that while they do and drop and overcast dwellers below upon them. But that's not all, folks. The dwellers below will be met with a fiery convocation and a chain lightning as well. And I do believe we also have space to drop a Awakening of the Wood. And by the looks of it, that volley, that salvo with spells, did an absolutely massive, ridiculous amount of damage. Already at 1,500 kills, nearly 1,600. There's the 1,600, and 235,000 damage. Yeah, this eagle's already paid for itself just by allowing us to close the distance at the exact appropriate time while the enemy was repositioning. And with that much damage having been dealt to the enemy army with spellwork, I don't think they can win anymore. And they just don't have it in them. Ooh, they got a little bit of spellwork of their own, however, as 11 kills from a single Vindictive Glare. Not so bad. Not so bad at all. But whatever, we got more spells where that came from ourselves. And could just fly around, taking a few hits on Feyadian, but now she has a Forbidden Rod, so she could just keep using the Forbidden Rod and healing herself while she's at it. Another Fiery Convocation comes down to, frankly, while it's a very solid spell, while the enemy moves and also while the enemy blobs up, the Dwellers below do have a tendency to do more damage and get more kills. So in theory, she doesn't even need it, but, well, until she has her own full stack. Honestly, after this, I'm gonna have to think about it. I think we might give her the legendary Life Dragon. Because there is a Life Dragon. And she's the Lure of Life, and it kind of makes sense to me. Especially after what she's achieved here. Anyway, the enemy army continues making their way towards us. The Lothran Seaguard have not fired a single shot as yet, and Feyadian has already killed 2.3 thousand of the enemy. And frankly, shattered, I think, more than half of the enemy army as well. Well, they can keep attempting to move forward. They're also using their spells on Feyadian, but she could just heal through them with her regrowth. Finally, the enemy moves close enough for the Lothran Seaguard to get a few volleys off, though the pathetic numbers of enemy troops left do not have enough mass, or critical mass, or whatever you want to call it. Well, just don't have the numbers to really weather the storm of arrows and actually reach us. And they'll simply get obliterated like those poor pump wagons. Orc Boys broken, a unit of nasty skulkers managing to charge, and will they get close enough? They pop their smoke bomb and just manage to make it in. They're wavering, they get their sneaky stab in, but by the looks of it, they don't know whether they'll get any kills. Oh, actually got 11. Good job to them. Actually, not too bad of a charge. I guess combining the charge with the smoke bomb, reducing our melee defense, as well as the sneaky stabbing at once, did some work. But that's pretty much the only work done by the entire enemy army, as they will shatter, and the battle will be ours. Well frickin' done to Feyadian. That was some pretty ridiculous spell work, and I think worthy of like a Kairos or a Teclis or just generally a very strong mage lord who is sort of capable of wiping out armies on their own. Alright, 2.6 thousand kills and 330,000 damage on Feyadian there. Folks, I think she has to be added to the canon now. She's done too well. There's been a few suggestions for her already based on her past performances, but at this point, she basically took out all of these stacks by herself. The Lothran Seaguard and Atilnai's army did not do much, and yeah, that eagle certainly was the right idea because of the massive speed it offers. It allows her to reposition herself quickly and well, effectively. As for her story, all right, well, you guys try to come up with something. Make it something unique about her lure of life specifically and what she can do. How about maybe she found a way to use the lure of life to overgrow orcish spores and essentially, I don't know, her casting causes orcs and goblins and anything with orcish spores to essentially overgrow and then explode. That's what I got right now. If anybody comes up with something cooler or adds on to it, go for it. She's gonna need a story. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Ransom captives or heal up. We are technically in friendly territory. I'm inclined to say take the money. We got more big expenditures to make after all. Damn, that was a lot of damage. Stolen from the enemy crown of command. Hey, we got 2 of those now, and we can hopefully pop them into something better. Heralds of Errol, yes, but just give me a minute. Oh, Sisters of Twilight are back up and running. Ah, go figure. I wonder what their defeat rate is, because I don't know. Okay, wait. Bard for Feyadian? Sure. She needs a bard to tell her story. 78 now. And they don't really hate us all that much. Okay, wait, so what we need to do is this. Belharathoi. Start by taking Vol's Anvil. Oh, damn, the Temple of Adioth is their capital. Damn, how do we do this? Wait. We need to try to give them back the Witchwood. Will their capital immediately move? Wait, because they won't trade the Temple of Adioth, will they? No. But they do really want that Witchwood. And we could allow them to keep the Temple of Adioth and trade it for the Witchwood next turn. 78, right? I also would like to know what the defeat rate is. What do we have here in terms of defenses? Not much. All right. Erathond, you are going to sack the Temple of Adioth. Yes, just for the defeat rate. Hopefully this doesn't screw our chances of allying with them or piecing out them. Auto-resolve this. There's no real need to fight them, because it's a single unit. And then sack the place. Missile strength plus 10%. For the Lord. Not super useful, admittedly, but okay. Then they are... What did that do to the peace agreement? Alright, it was 78 at 71 now. Not horrible. Then we'll move Belharathoi to take Vol's Anvil. Like so. And... Really? Really, game? Really? You're gonna be like this? You're gonna be like this today? Okay, fine. I was just wondering whether we should fight it manually between the episodes, but it looks like we still have time today, so I'm gonna manually fight this super quick, just max speed through it, and then we'll deal with it. But wait. Do we have the vassalize option for them? I didn't even check. I don't remember, can elves only... I know that elves can only vassalize other elves, but I don't remember if it's other elves of the same type or other elves in general, because vassalizing them would be swell. Anyway, let's do this. Healthiest units, you, and you. Right out here. Archers. Out here, and out here, and then you guys go in right there, switch to multi-shot. You guys stay back here and wait. Who else is left? You guys. Yeah, you can move forward, you can, I don't know, guard over here, doesn't really matter. You guys turn off skirmish mode, you start battle, you max out the speed, there we go. A little unit of Glade Guard will melt away pretty much immediately. Let's move those Illyrian Reavers forward, and start moving the spears as well. Frankly, that's very much should have been auto-resolvable, but what can you do? Alright, is that a single range unit of Glade Guard? Go charge them if you would, and then let's move everybody else forward. Spears can go as well. You guys move this way, you guys move this way. Go this way, doesn't really matter. Alright, charge forward. Guys go forward. Speed up again. Are the trees blocking these, or are they just not landing? What the heck? Oh, the accuracy is just poor. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, we're not supposed to expect super high accuracy from those things anyway. Alright, you guys are moving forward. And you will cast one of these on... Oh, wow, okay, I forgot about you, Oh no, I got the Illyrian Reavers killed. My bad. I forgot about these guys, and the Wildwood Rangers have stock on them? Whatever. It's just basically Illyrian Reavers. That's definitely my bad. That's what I get for speeding through battles. I was just trying to not waste time. But here we are. Here we are, that's what happens. I deserve it. Alright, now we're gonna play this at relatively normal speed, just to not lose any more units. You guys, be careful, you artillery pieces will target. Range units are still working, get more range units forward. You guys, go for those Wildwood Rangers, if you please, and you guys back up as well. Spears are good. How's everybody else looking? Alright, artillery pieces, switch targets to those Wildwood Rangers. I don't think you can actually fire upon them, but it hardly matters at this point. And go forward. And spears, I probably shouldn't have even bothered with you. You guys are kind of in each other's way, so let's move you in such a way that you are not. And Reavers, go help chase stuff down. I'll try not to get him killed. Hey, artillery pieces are actually firing. Like so. Just gotta distract a few of the enemy units with the spears and whatnot. You, spear unit, come down here. Don't get in the way of the artillery fire. Alright, and you guys melt those archers. Tempted to speed it up again, but it seems like a bad idea. You know what, you guys go off the field, just so that you don't die. You guys target the Wildwood Rangers, and yeah, right. Artillery, time to stop firing, and everybody else surround the... surround and kill the Wildwood Rangers. Forward, you guys. Say 2 of you like this, and you 2 just target that unit of a Glade Guard or Dryads, and target something. Target something, do something. Alright, speed it up to max again. Alright, let's back off the horses just in case, though. You go forward, and... how are we doing out here? Those Wildwood Rangers done for? Yes, indeed they are. You guys can book it on up here instead. Was there another unit of them back here? Yeah, send a unit of spears to scout. And, oh, there it is. Alright, artillery pieces, start moving forward. Pop a few spells on them, I guess. Like so. A little shocked that the enemy hasn't routed, but, well, it's only a matter of time now. You guys... no, you know what, don't. I'm not falling for that again. And you guys fire on this. Spears are obviously going to have a little bit of a difficult time. You know what, let's make it an easier time. Go for the Shield of Thorns. Alright, you guys loop around. You guys could probably go this way. You guys just back off so that you don't die. And are you guys not firing on anything? How about you do fire on something, anything at all? Hey, go this way. And you. All of you go this way, and we'll, I guess, heal everybody up like so. And the archers are firing now. I guess we could watch this for a little bit. Actually, wait. Let me get the artillery pieces. You can all target this unit. There we go. This, hopefully we don't clip our own units too hard. Wink. Artillery pieces, you gonna fire or are you blocked by something? I think they can fire. I don't even know where they are. Oh, they're all the way back there. Alright, fine. Move here. It was just taking them too long to go where they were needed. Oh, it doesn't really matter because the battle's over anyway. Speed it up. Speed it up, speed it up, speed it up. It's funny that the auto-resolve was gonna kill these guys, like... I almost got them killed anyway. Alright, you guys... oh, damn, that unit of Glade Guard was doing solid work. Not that we really care about the spears, mind you. We just need to get a... well, we do have anger deployment on them, I guess. We need to get a noble for this army so that it at least heals up. I think we need to build the Elven... I want to say court building, the one that gives us nobles but also increases income from entertainment structures in a few places, and just to get a few more nobles. And just since that we need tier 4 to get lore masters. Ancestors of Avalorn, and the unit survived if just barely. Occupy. Alright, that gives us Vol's Anvil, and the Great Eagle. Lore Master's Cloak. Hey, I was just talking about you guys. Spell resistance in area. Huh, it's not bad. Then... let's see if we're right. 75. Into defensive... Here's a question. Will their capital switch? I'm not sure that it will. I want to give them Hag Hall. If we take this... how do we do this? Granted, they'll take a long time to build up, but I'm not opposed to the idea. I mean, I suppose technically we don't necessarily need this full province, but it'll make... the faster we get it, the faster we can grow the Temple of Vol. Hopefully their capital won't become Clarkarond. If we give them... wait, are we able to trade them Plain of Dogs? Well, we don't want to trade them Plain of Dogs. Are we able to trade it to them, though? Just out of curiosity. Vol's Anvil, the Witchwood... Hag Hall and Bleakhold Fortress. Bleakhold Fortress? Huh. That's interesting. Why are we able to trade them Bleakhold Fortress? It's because they have a settlement in this territory and it's bordering this territory. We could take the Temple of Adayoth, attempt to give them Hag Hall, then trade back Hag Hall for the Witchwood. I wonder what Hag Hall will be worth, though. We just started building those pastures. How much is it worth to you, out of curiosity? Ag Hall is worth 75. Huh. Not worth much. And the Witchwood is worth quite a bit. Because if we screw this up, and if Hag Hall is worth like 1 million money... Okay, just out of curiosity, okay, let's try this. Let's try this. Wait. I gotta get this, guys. I'm gonna get this. We're gonna do this right, damn it. Venom Glade, how much are you worth? Not Peace Treaty. Just, oh, fine. 75, Venom Glade down to 25, meaning Venom Glade is worth about 50. And the Witchwood is worth about...
Only when no other option remains.
Wait. 75... It's worth less than 50? You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Okay, well, we can't do it that way, then. Alright, fine, screw it. Just take the Temple of Adeoth. Occupy. Now, out of curiosity, are we still able to trade you the Witchwood? No. But... Temple of Adeoth is no longer your main territory. Your capital is now at Clarkaron, which we probably would have wanted for ourselves, but you know what, whatever. We can live without it, I think. Or we just go up here. How many territories did they have left? They have 2 territories. You know what, let me give this some thought. Let's do some other stuff for now, and I'll come back to it. That was kind of irritating, but, well, what can you do? Imrik, go into... Are you maxed out in mana? Yeah, you are. Go into March stance, or actually, it probably doesn't matter what stance you go into. Go right here. I don't think Clan Carrion can declare war on you, like it's physically impossible for them, so... At least I think that's the case. Not 100%. Itilna and Phaedian. You know what? If we... maybe I'll try to do the swapping of territories between the episodes. Phaedian. She'll need a name in addition to the story, in addition to Phaedian. And Noble's Prestige, or Noble Prestige, go right here. Kill this guy. And auto-resolve him. Assuming no one will die. Ah! Gotta be kidding me. Game, why? Alright, back off. Fine. Phaedian, just back off. Damn. Yeah. Try that again. No one will die now. Hopefully the... rain... What the heck happened here? What the... These guys just lost all their HP to this garbage? What in the... Ugh, game. Why? Alright, game's being annoying with the auto-resolve today. Not much we could do about it, though. And... honestly, this is probably not worth fighting, really. I think what I might do is maybe I'll fight this little battle between the episodes and just take the time to heal everybody up with the Phaedian, because that was just ridiculous. I wasn't expecting it. Oh well. We will deal. Architect Luaron and Influencer, you're the only ones that are still movable, so you will go to the Vale of Woe, and Itilna will fight with you in a bit. We actually do still have time if we wanted to fight this. If we did. Because if we fight it right now, I can then do some of this swapping. So what I was thinking was to trade them the Temple of Adeoth and then trade them the Witchwood. You can't give them Clarkaron. I could try to go over there and kill it. I kinda don't like that they're sharing territories with Katep either. And these guys don't like the fact that we've got military actions against them. Yeah, you know, once again, I think we can live without Clarkaron. How much... I was thinking Malice might not hate us so much, but he does kind of hate us so much. Alright, screw Clarkaron. I'd rather have these guys as allies. When we will do this, we will peace out with them. At Defensive Alliance. No military access, but what can you do? And they're willing to give us a bunch of cash. Is there anything else we could get out of this? Just out of curiosity. If we trade them for... Could we trade them Venom Glade? No. Wait. What about... Yeah, don't do this yet. Do this like that, with the Defensive Alliance. Like so.
So be it.
If none of this works, we'll just betray them later. Just because we can. For resisting. For not recognizing Imrik's inherent superiority. Or that of Caledor in general. Alright, now, how much is Temple of Adioth worth to you? 0.2, so we could give you 900 money, you'll take it, and then it'll probably be worth 1,000,000 money, but, yeah. Then... Oh man, they won't like the trespassing. Very unfriendly still, though. But it will count as gifts the swapping of stuff. We could also just wait until we leave Temple of Adioth and trade the Witchwood to them next turn instead. I think maybe that's the way we'll do it. Probably the superior way. And in the meantime, did that make this guy a little bit happier with us? Not really, even if we are defensive alliances now. In a defensive alliance now, rather. Honestly, if they cancel it, if this comes back to bite us, we'll just kill them off. It just felt wrong to completely destroy them for only... Well, I'm not going to say only Vol's Anvil, because that was the right move, but, you know. Anyway, I think we're going to fight those. We got a little bit of buildings to build, but not really anything else. So you're going to go here to the Pillars of Grogne, and you'll be the one attacking because you have the mana. We can put the Rampager standard on you, I guess. So then we will move until the end this nonsense forward. And you can go into Noble Prestige, I guess, to get the additional XP and heal up a little bit further. You will max out regrowth, because it's going to be needed here, and then we're going to fight this. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a minor settlement, so it'll still take some effort. Go. Alright, no speech from Theoden in this particular battle. I guess perhaps she's just as salty as I am for actually needing to fight this one, because the auto-resolve was being obnoxious about damaging our units. Oh well, though, not a big deal. We can, well... And just so that we don't essentially repeat the previous battle, while we'll, I'm sure, have Theoden cast a few things, we'll try to clear most of the enemy settlement with arrow fire and whatnot, rather than having to rely on the mage to do all the work. Plus, we're going to have to use most of our mana to heal these guys up, since, I mean, they're all just like 5% HP, or they were. I'm going to repeatedly pop those regrowths, or repeatedly pop those Earthbloods, and just try to have a constant life bloom up to keep everybody's HP climbing. And at least this way we actually won't have to wait a turn to heal these guys up afterwards, like in a settlement. Allow the army to keep on fighting. Anyway, Theoden, at the cost of plenty of mana, I'm sure has healed everybody up, and we're just about ready to start the fight. And just gotta move into where we can start firing upon the enemy, huh? Wow, those Savage Orc Airboys were up on the platform where they were getting additional damage and range, and they backed off rather than having a range shootout with our Sea Guard. Tried to knock them a little bit back into it with an Awakening of the Wood. It's not going to do a crazy amount of damage to them, especially considering their loose formation. And I'm actually not sure what they're doing anymore. Well, what they are doing is eating arrows. I think, oh, maybe our Lothran Sea Guard are out of range. 145 versus 176. Okay, that explains it. They wanted to fire on them, but they just could not. And we'll get ripped apart from a distance instead. Alrighty, out here, the rest of our Lothran Sea Guard are taking position a little bit sort of slanted, because we want them to be able to fire on units coming down this way, and at the units over here, like this unit of Arrow Boys. Wait, no, Savage Orcs. There's a unit of Arrow Boys in here as well. Well, there's one over there, and I think there's one there, which we will need to be able to fire at. Same sort of thing happening over on this side. The Savage Orcs are destroyed. We're going to focus down that barricade and then start making our way into the enemy settlement. All the while, we just float around with the Theoden and keep an eye on what the enemy is doing. It's going to speed this up a teensy bit. Allow some enemies to close, perhaps. And there we go. Or, well... I say allowed to close, but then we pop Awakening of the Wood to apply a speed debuff on the enemy to get them to eat more arrows. But I didn't say we wouldn't be casting at all. I'd say the Awakening of the Woods is more like a little bit of support casting, unless it's in like a blob of gobos or other super fragile units. Anyway, looks like the enemy is disinclined, at the very least with these Savage Orcs, to charge towards us. We've broken the enemy barricade, but on the bright side, these Savage Orcs, and by the looks of it, those Boar Boys, are in fact willing to charge. So the Lothran Sea Guard with shields will hold the enemy back. They do have, once again, 77 melee defense on them. Their armor, admittedly, is a little bit low, at only 60, but it should be enough to deal with this. We just got to be careful about damaging our own units with friendly fire, and what we can do there is pop that Shield of Thorns upgraded. 44 missile resistance, plus what they already have, giving them 59 missile resist total. And of course the melee damage reflection, meaning they should have no problem holding back the Boar Boys. And of course there's also the charge defense against large and the anti-large generally that they have. Ooh, and it looks like the Boar Boys are joined by a unit of trolls. Once again, large units. But once again, units we should be able to relatively easily focus down, especially as the trolls are just big enough for our other units to fire into their backs. Or fire over their heads, rather. We also send our Noble in, now at full HP, having received healing from Phaedion, to get a few whacks away with his halberd at those trolls, who will lose most of their number and most of their HP as well. Out here, we haven't made too much headway, or at the very least haven't moved too far forward, but have just gotten a few arrows on the enemy. And once again, is this the... No, these guys are just very light on ammunition now. I guess they've been firing while these guys not so much. Alright, well, we continue to fire, and the enemy, I guess, just doesn't know what to do here. We can just sort of slowly, systematically, surely take the settlement. But this is generally sort of the case for the minor settlements. The AI isn't particularly good at defending them, generally speaking. Anyway, looks like a squig herd attempts to move towards us. We get a chain lightning going in their way, mostly to annoy them, as they were forced to pass through it because they were in rampage, and thus the AI couldn't stop them. Plus the vortex was reducing their melee attack, should they actually get a decent charge in. Out here, another unit of Savage Orcs moves in, and the Boar Boys have rallied, but we do send our Noble to guard the rear. And by the looks of it, he sends those Boar Boys booking it as well. Few enemy units remain on the field, though not too many more. I believe we can clean them up rather quickly. And, ooh, actually managed to get one of those Reaver bow shots into the enemy Savage Orc airboys. How many kills do you have from that until now? 11. Though I'm not sure if some of them were from the, from previously firing at enemies. Anyway, another fiery convocation against those Savage Orc Boar Boys, and we give the glittering robe to the Lothran Sea Guard so that they are not damaged by our own units, and so that they have a little bit more resistance against the boars. Not that we're in a great need of it, as the boars fail to find any purchase in the staunch spear line, and with that, the enemy army shatters, and the battle is ours. Little to no losses or damage, and on top of that, we healed ourselves to full. Alright, very nice. Solid work from Phaedion as usual. Still cracking 100,000 damage, getting 850 kills, even if she wasn't casting, I'd say, nearly as much damaging spells, having used a lot of her mana on healing these idiots. Back up to full. Occupy the place. Wow, 57% unit replenishment. Occupy. And a Great Eagle for Ailair. Yeah, I don't want you on a chariot. We will have armies with... Ooh, a Tormentor Sword, very nice. We will have armies with chariots, but this is not those armies. Go into Plaza immediately. Tempted to replace the Elven Artisans with Growth, but we can just build the Growth here as well, so that should be just fine. You can switch into Lilith's Blessing here. Gonna need to channel and get ready to move towards Karazakarak. Do we have Siege Attacker on you? We do not, and I take it we don't have it on Phaedion either. I suppose what we... Oh, damn, we don't have the Moondragon either. Nobody here has siege attacker? Yeah, we're gonna have to besiege Karazakarek. Bit of a shame, but what can you do? Anyway, I think we are good now, yes? Minus the building potentially. I guess we do want to end the turn so that we can figure out what exactly to do with these guys and the building swappage next time, or I can do so between the episodes. Stupid though it may be, 'tis necessary. Still eyeing that Clark Harrond. But anyway, let's do the buildings real quick and building rather real quick, and then I'll end the turn. You, Dragon Isles. Nothing to be built here, at least for another turn or so, but getting there. Plain of Bones, you're fine as well. Ooh, a couple more turns for the Howling Wastes. Wolflands, you are good as well. While we have the Invocation of Assyrian, we need to take as much advantage of all of this as we possibly can, so that's what we're gonna do. Tyrannox, Ashtoranrak, ooh, you're finally positive, at least for a little while we have the Invocation up and running. Big Barter, yes to the Eastern Bazaar, yes to the Colonnade, and we could build the Elven Gardens now. It's not the best place to build it, but... And the Archive is relatively useless here simply because we need to be tier 4 and it'll be a while until we go to tier 4. Granted, we won't get a lot of mileage out of this because there's not a lot of entertainment buildings in here. I'm almost tempted to say that the Elven Embassy might be better due to the trade tariffs and stuff. But we lack nobles and we would like to build another one up where, up in north, so I think we could build it for now. Yeah, just do it. Alright, Ashen, Coastan, ooh, wait, do we need to switch out of Rebuild Lost Splendor? I guess we do. Go for Banish Corruption and then we'll build up Ruin's End next. Ashen Coast. You can upgrade Tyrant Peak, or no, I lied, Iron Spike is the way. And if we collect the income, it would actually be positive. You know what? Yeah, fine. Well... We don't have a lot of growth here. Is that horrific? It's 1,000 gold per turn. I'm kind of disinclined to say no to that. The rest of this looks fine to me. Wait, Desolation of Asgore, do we need to switch you to anything? No. Pig Barter, we are switching now. Dead Rock Gap. You're looking good. Let's upgrade the World's Edge Archway immediately. And we'll still need to build stuff next turn, so we will. And then we'll probably uncollect the... this place is not growing at all, so we'll collect the income eventually, but not right now. Vol's Anvil. First things first. Homestead for you. Temple of Adioth. We'll repair you. But I think we won't build anything here. So that we can trade it, but that it won't, so that it won't have any structures. I think. Also, this doesn't change the fact that we need to rebuild Lost Splendor. Oh, I guess since this will reduce this by 1, we could just build that next turn. Lovely. Caledor, you are looking good minus the need to switch to rebuild Lost Splendor. And we could collect the income, but we'll do it later. Griffin Gate, you're fine. Do we need to switch here? You're fine, you're fine. No, we don't need to switch. Haunted Forest, you can build up the Exotic Animal Bazaar, and next turn we can continue the recruitment of various things that we're going to pop into various armies. I wish we didn't have to do it here, but this is the only place we have these structures. It's going to take a little bit of a while. Witchwood, you're fine, in the sense that we'll be transferring your stuff you to the back to the Wood Elves. You're fine, Plain of Dogs, and surprisingly are not rebelling. And the rest is fine. Alright, looks good to me. Skip outpost available with whom? Heralds of Ariel. Oh. Yes, but also no. Also later. Potentially. Diplomacy, did I do you this turn? Apparently I did not. Karazak, oh, you broke your agreement and now you want peace, eh? No, that's or non-aggression. That's not gonna happen. Jade Court, you're still fighting Mazdamundian until we see which one of you wins, and we are not going to do anything with you. Last Defenders are nearly ready for a trade. We could declare war on Kairos, but I kind of am wary of doing so at the current time. Order of Lore Masters still not ready for that, Confed. And the rest of this is fine. Could also peace out with Dreadfleet, but eh. End turn. Alright, we obviously don't have time to do any more than the end turn, so let's let it get there, see if anything interesting happens, and then proceed. Where are you going, Nagaroth? I'm a little bit concerned of Leaf and Nar actually declaring war on us. Because we want to confederate them. Alright, I didn't check whether we had the option of getting a vassal agreement on the on these guys. Because it would be nice. Alright, Razor Standard and Book of the Phoenix out of gain a substantial income. Hey, lovely. Follower gain for Arwinil, another Minstrel as well, another Razor Standard. There's that Book of the Phoenix and Cavalry Focus. Yeah, we're gonna build some cavalry, so yeah, that's fine. God type is there. You two aren't at war, are you? No, you're not. You are not. Are you? No, you're not able to be vassalized.
Don't think you can make up for it.
You have caused untold harm. Don't think you should have given us Val's Anvil. This is your own fault, and you need to realize this. Anyway, I believe that's it. Let's just take a look at anything interesting. We will start the next episode off with a big ol' attack on Nagashazar. Don't declare war as yet. I want to see what's there. Cancel move. Poison and mortars, gutter runners, tons of storm vermin, tier 5 place. Lovely, that'll be a big old battle for Imrik. Plus, we got the dragon princes on the way. You can't get, nah. I was hoping we could get Shakalot in there. Technically, we could get it in your army. That would be super expensive. I will think about it. We might do that next time. Speaking of next time, in addition to Nagashazar, looks like Bogrub is moving on in and is in March stance, so we could kill him off with a Tilnai and maybe have a Tilnai do some work rather than having Phaedian take all the credit. But we'll save it for next time, so stay tuned for more Imrik. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.